If you had a giant 1 mile long spirit level,
imagine LIGO, right? It's 2 miles, isn't it?
Yeah, if you were to put a bubble level on like the intersection of LIGO, that would be level. If you were to walk down the arm and place it on top of that, I would say it would not be level. That would be another good.
So you say at the split point, that's where it's level on both arms?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where they leveled it.
And what are the arms? What are the arms? If the center is level, how do you envision?
No, he said no, not the center. The apex where they both meet.
Oh, the apex.
Yeah,
sorry.
it's different.
So
it's changed.
How do you envision the end of the arms then? The other two ends?
They're just gonna go straight, and this is in the engineering.
The ends of the arms. At the end, you have the apex, and you have two arms running along, right?
Yeah.
How are they? Are they in the same level as the apex, or how do you envision them? Higher, lower?
So at the ends of the arm, they had to pour more concrete because it was at a higher elevation.
It's not what I asked you. It's not what I asked you. When the job was done, you have your apex, it's level.
Mm-hmm.
Either arm, how are they in relation to the apex?
They're flat.
Oh,
They're straight. They're straight.
Yeah.
Are they also level?
No. They are... at each spot they are not level. They like if you put a bubble level on the apex and you started moving down the arm, it would get off and more off level.
How? Towards the up or towards the down?
With the bubble level, it would either go left or right.
No, hold on a second. You have a level at the apex and you have two arms running, and I'm asking, you say they're not level at the ends. So I'm asking you, are they lower than the apex or higher than the apex?
They have a higher elevation than the apex.
So they're higher than... Wow.
So the horizontal raises in elevation for you? No, you said it would be higher.
Hold on. The horizontal plane that was established at the apex will diverge from the surface of the earth. The horizontal plane stays straight, but the level of water starts diverging from the straightness.
What? How do you envision that? You envision level water diverging from straightness?
Yes, I do.
Wow.
How is that possible?
Because level is a curve. And water is level.
That's my model dictates, right?
No,
that's
reality. But as I was saying, like, if we go back to the straight line test, you would be able to see which one's true. If water is curved, then there will be an angle. If level water is curved, there will be an angle between B, A, and C. If water level is straight, then all of them will be collinear. It's a test.
I don't think there's any possibility of reaching you, bro. I just don't think so.
If we do the test, that would reach me.
At what point is vertical not perpendicular to horizontal?
It always is. Every vertical is perpendicular to its horizontal.
To its horizontal. And
yes.
What is a horizontal?
It's 90 degrees from its vertical, and vertical is defined from the plumb bob. I wonder if I could do it, because over a short distance, you might be able to use the Autolite app and a water level.
You don't understand.
I mean, he obviously doesn't understand what level is.
You don't understand.
You don't understand. Hold on.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn. You're just on your own.
I can guarantee you there will be a hump in the middle. If you side across from one side to the other,
just take my word for it, bro.
No, don't take my word for it. Do it. I can guarantee you there will be a hump in the middle. There will be.
I can guarantee
there will be a hump in the middle.
There will be.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you there will be a hump in the middle.
go and speak to anyone. Go up to someone that you know and just say, "Here, mate, is level horizontal?"
Yeah.
And see what he says.
Horizontal, of course, level's horizontal.
Well, there you go then.
With level, especially when you do it on a small scale. Okay, if you're talking about the water level, the horizontal plane that a water level establishes is in the middle of the water level.
You would have to understand what a line is.
You don't understand.
I mean, he obviously doesn't understand what level means.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn.
Hold on.
You're just on your own.
Begging for your model to be
You
real.
would have to understand what a line is.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
So, so logically it follows then that all perpendiculars to that line
You don't understand.
are parallel to each other.
Yes, I agree.
It also then follows that that line cannot be curved line or change angle anywhere along the line.
That line, yes. So this straight line we are using cannot bend because it's straight. I agree. That line, yes. So this straight line we are using cannot bend because it's straight. I agree. This straight line we are using cannot bend because it's straight. I agree.
You don't understand.
I mean, he obviously doesn't understand what level means.
You don't understand.
You would have to understand what a line is.
Not my problem if you don't want to learn.
You don't understand.
Just on your own.
You might be able to use the Autolite map and a water level.
No reason, no logic, no wisdom, no worries.
You don't understand.
You're just on your own.
Begging for your model to be
No
real.
reason, no logic, no answers to questions.
You don't understand.
You're just on your own.
Begging for your model to be real.
You know what we call a vertical change? You know when we measure a vertical change.
Yeah, it's an elevation change.
Yeah, a vertical measurement in the vertical.
Because it's a good approximation of the short distance.
So you're saying that horizontal being straight would get a measurement from the wait a minute. You use a tool called a level that establishes a horizontal, and then from that horizontal you measure a vertical change, don't you?
I'm saying that
You do though, don't you? Right? Do you understand that, right? You use a tool called a level that establishes a horizontal, and you measure a vertical change from that horizontal. And what do we call that vertical change again?
elevation change.
There you
That's
go.
not what I'm
A
saying.
reference to the horizontal, obviously.
But I'm in reality, like that's why I'm thinking of actually doing this test. In reality, specifically say that horizontal is actually not a plane. Your misunderstanding of my model is not my problem. It's up to you to understand
You
it.
don't understand.
You don't understand. Hold on.
You don't understand.
I mean, he obviously doesn't understand what level means.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn. You're just on your own.
I have no problem with you all using the water level to establish a horizontal plane. It will be tangent to the curve of the earth. They would maintain the same elevation. But remember, levels occur. So then is a vertical angle just a right angle? Grab a water level, that same water level test, and sight across it. That's it. Anything that is 90 degrees from that plane will be parallel to the vertical that you established at that point. Whenever y'all ask me about surveying, I say, yeah, I'm not an expert. I defer to the experts.
I'm out. We'll carry on, you carry on, but I don't think it's. I mean, he obviously doesn't understand what level means. I mean, he obviously doesn't understand what level means.
You don't understand.
Hold on. You don't understand.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn. You're just on
We don't use proof in reality. That's pseudoscience. Or you can use it for math and logic. I don't claim to know anything about the thing.
Have you ever held a water level? Have you ever held a water level?
Have I held a water level, the tool? No, but it's a pretty simple concept.
Say they're even so bold over there, you guys. They believe horizontals are parallel.
Yeah.
You ever heard of proof before? Like real
Proof doesn't exist in reality. It only exists in math and theoretics.
With your picture, then. Thank you.
No, I'm not trying to prove anything.
Hold on.
No,
I'm showing you evidence that the Earth is a globe.
Proof stuff.
No, I'm bringing evidence that the Earth is a globe.
Hold on.
Why would I try to prove something? That's pseudoscience. We don't use proof in reality. That's pseudoscience. That's pseudoscience.
Hold on. You don't understand.
I mean, he obviously doesn't understand what level means.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn. You're just on your own.
My God.
22 years old. You're on the fucking internet talking to people about
No reason,
begging for your model to be
no
real.
wisdom, no worry.
It's bizarre.
You're just on your own.
Begging for your model to be
No
real.
reason, no logic, no answers to questions.
You don't understand.
You're just on your own.
Begging for your model to be real.
He thinks the zero pressure state in the water is an arc instead of a straight line.
Yeah.
I'm not laughing at Tom. I'm laughing at the theoretical conversations. Hey, there's some people who think level is horizontal and they want you all to talk about. And also, yeah, parallel and vertical being 90 degrees from one another. And in math, typically when you establish a horizontal plane, in math, yeah, it's just one horizontal.
And we are live. That was a rather large intro. Welcome everyone. Free for all Friday. Probably doing something else, but if you want to come on in and obviously if you've got anything you want to say in the chat, because you can't come in, put it in the chat. We'll try and deal with it. Got a few things that have gone on today. Well, first you can see in the chat there, Blue Marble using the term the nutsack. I knew it'd start catching on. It's obviously the nutsack drop is a colloquial term. Everybody should know the nutsack drop, more commonly known as Rompus pole. It's the predetermined distance between level and horizontal that's required for you to believe the dogmatic globe model. So finally, Blue Marble Science is acknowledged it. Nutsack surveying. That's what Rompus is doing. We've been trying to show people about the actual practical use of the tools, but seems like Blue Marble's catching on with the old nutsack drop. That's what the technique that Rompus is using, I think, for measuring his Rompus. Well, actually, the Rompus pole's already been measured, or he's got a little winder, I think, with a tape measure on the side of it. You'll have to let Rompus. Rompus will tell you when he puts his video out. It'll all be in his video. There'll be no need to worry about this. Obviously been taken on by Blue Marble Science, though. But the other thing is, I don't know. Do you need to watch the? Well, let me. I'll put this on just in case. I don't know whether you're aware of the goings on. Let me get this. Oh, wait a minute. I think this needs to be up here. maybe not. I mean, there you go. That's better. Let me sort this going out. Sorry about that. Oh, no. Let me. That's a bit big. Okay, so there's a video here. You guys looking at it on Discord. Do we need to go over the video? I don't want to scare people. All right, check this out. It's a video. It's a guy called Flatsoid. And it appears, it's done a short video, it appears that the debunking community have developed this thing. Do we need to go through it? Okay, best let Flatsoid talk about this, right? Like,
Yeah, might as well watch it. Yeah.
Everybody else in there, we'll go over the whole thing.
I think I'm not sure yet. Okay, and we are live, guys. This is an sort of an emergency broadcast, I would have to say. Stream. Hope you're all doing well. Well, yeah, I've been alarmed by something I found thanks to the doxing of Sergio. Sergio, by the way, I already sent you through to the lawyers for your doxing, so you would be getting information soon by them a nice email. Congratulations.
Right. It appears, I don't know whether he said it the wrong way round or whether that's sort of a language thing, but yeah, he's I think Flatsoid's been doxed by somebody called Sergio, but I can't confirm that. That's what Flatsoid said there. And because of that, he's found this.
For showing the pictures of my wife, my family, and me, and my full names on your stream. Congratulations, I did warn you. And then you have the audacity to even post things like this. I'm going to show everybody. This is Sergio showing this, and he says, "What is my real name? Why are you searching for my real and full name? You have no right to do so." So congratulations. And this is what is on that site, guys. I did take my surname away already, but I want you to concentrate on how personal information is on here. And no, I don't live there anymore, so I'm glad about that. But my wife and myself are very, very, how can I say that, appalled. And we don't really think it's so nice that they would come up with idiotic stuff like this. Speaking of my wife, another sign is he's a wuss. In his joint Facebook account with his wife, very common amongst white males in South Africa, where there are mistrust in the relationship. You can get to see the love for yellow, maybe an indication for love of urine. Well, we take very deep offense of this, and I would really want people that whoever made this, you better apologize, because it is sick. And while this is not the reason this is most of the reason I'm placing it, but what's alarming is I'm going to go and show the site, because this site shows a whole bunch of people with their personal information on here. Wiki. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to stick it in the streams, because we see a lot of people on there that is really wrong. So if you guys can go on there and go look, what's alarming is there, please go in and look for that site, click on it.
Everybody get this? It's not too loud, that in the background. Can you hear that? The washing machine's going off.
Yes, we can hear the washing machine.
Oh, is it too loud?
It is quite loud.
Yeah, right. let this play out then.
And you guys are going to see if you can maybe you'll get your personal information on there. So there's the link. Do feel free to go and look, because I mean, look, Rachie, Austin, Banjo, Bob Noel, everybody's there. I recently did delete my profile, so I suggest you guys go in there and delete yours as well. I used to be but it's no there. You see, Flatzoid, 27 minutes ago. Click on. There's nothing anymore. I deleted it. I took it out because this is sick. So everybody that is, you can look for yourself, and you can just go and please take yourself out. I mean, Brian Leak, Bro Sanchez, Brian, Bev, Billy Santa, I mean, even Bob Nodell. But look at the difference, though. He doesn't even have all the personal information they placed like they did on me. So I just thought I would share that with you all and say, please share this wide and loud. If the Globus can create pages like this, then it shows you. And, wait, before we do that, look who actually commented, guys, who actually, McToon 3 days ago, Fandom User 13 days ago, whatever. McToon is on here. So McToon is one of the main components on here. Very deceptive, guys. So please do look at this. And then I'm just going to say, just had to let you all know. So if you find your name on there, go to the link and then just remove everything of yourself, because they are not allowed to do this. It's defamation of character and it's doxing. Like I said to Sergio, I already did send the defamation of character to the lawyers of YouTube for you. Congratulations.
Okay, now he's gonna have to put up with it. Sorry about that. But
hey, your washing machine sounds like it works great, Bev.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
The spin cycle at the end,
At the best part.
Yeah,
it's the best part.
Timing, perfect. Okay, so Flatzoid, apparently he's been doxed. But I mean, I don't know, who knows what that means anymore. And defamation of character. Wow. This, like Emma posts here, we've got the one from earlier. This one. This is perhaps the last surviving screenshot for the Wiki, the Flurf Wiki fandom site, because people have fans on there, right? Pages for fans. This one says FTFE brackets, short for Fight the Flat Earth. Convicted criminal in the UK. Assault and threatening behaviour conviction 2023. That was the sort of stuff that was on there. Factual information. If you go there and look now, this site that has been, I don't know, frequented by the likes of McToon, it's gone. There is no more fandom of the Flurfs, of which I was on there, actually. I mean, I think it might have been shut down for misinformation, right? Because everyone knows that I'm not a flat earther. So perhaps what brought it around, the closing down of it, might be because somebody altered Fight the Flat Earth to show that he has a criminal conviction. Who knows? But yeah, sadly, that site that was probably lies about all sorts of different people, the imaginations of a lot of globe earth believers, dogmatic globe earth believers, sorry. That's where they put all of their hopes and lies into people. Defamation of character, like Flatzoid says. But it looks like Flatzoid's got a defamation of character thing.
I can't think of anything less that I would like to do with my time than make a loser website with all of the people that I don't like, and then hero worship
Fandom
for
user
all
13
of
days
the
ago,
wolf
whatever.
pack. it's
Yeah, the
very.
wolf pack. They had a whole section just for the wolf pack, didn't they?
Yeah, they listed all of the names of the wolf pack.
All the wolf pack members.
Mm-hmm.
What are they going to do?
I don't know, and obviously all of those had like glowing reviews. There was no doxing.
Yeah.
Apart from what everybody already knows.
Well, it's strange that they've shown this site, and the moment it's been shown, it's suddenly shut down. I mean, it's probably been going for years, lying about people, particularly me. I bet there's a lot of things that have been said about me that were on there. Probably, I don't know. I can't see.
I am a little disappointed that it's been taken down because I could have had some fun with that, but
we'd only just
never mind.
found out about it. That's a shame.
This morning, today, it was didn't even know it existed up until today.
They kept it quiet, right? It had all sorts of different. Look at that, Bob Nodell. Stuff about Bob.
Yeah.
And
is there anything about George?
Thing? I don't know. Oh, well, you can't see, can you? I don't think that. I think George's name has been scrubbed from the history books. I think they're wiping George out of the memories. Other people are just taking all of George's stuff. It's a shame, but that's what they do, isn't it? You know.
So just to lay it out. So there are people out there with that much time on their hands that they dislike a topic or people's opinions on a topic. So they go and make a website dedicated to showing everybody just how much they dislike that topic.
The people, I think, like when everybody says attack the argument and not the person. Well, this was a direct attack to the person. It was like a ad hom wiki site where you just attack the person.
Yeah.
But everybody knows that's one of the tactics that a lot of people do actually use in this arena. It's much easier to attack the person than the... And actually, what Flatzoid's going on here is the idea that you can intimidate people with their own name and their own identity and where they live, and then you can sort of attack their neighbours or the businesses and the shops that they frequent. That's one of the tactics that these people have been using for quite a few years. George was famous for doing this for a guy called Brian Mullins. That particular, once the name is out there, then that name can be inquired about in certain areas. And I think we did say at the beginning when we started it, right, Emma? We're both carers. There's not much people could do, but no doubt, if we did have a job, then these people would have probably stopped that because of the way they work and exactly this sort of stuff. These websites, like Flatzoid said, they've posted his entire name on there and his family.
So I mean, he's that upset about it. He made a video, okay, but he will still debate these same people.
Yeah. Yeah, he needs it, doesn't he? It's the content that he needs. Can you remember when Fight the Flat Earth was doing this very thing to me? And we were advised not to take it to court. Can you remember that?
Yes.
I don't know who Flatzoid's lawyers are, but I wouldn't hesitate to guess that it's perhaps the same person. Wonder whether he's advised him to not do it again, or whether
maybe it's all being
person.
It'll be being all handled in the background.
internally, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Need to know basis kind of thing.
Yeah. I hope some sort of resolution gets come to, because from my experience, they're all as bad as each other. And everybody knows this sort of stuff's gone on. Everybody has watched this sort of stuff go on. And nobody's bothered doing anything about it. It's been, in fact, it's been allowed. It's been applauded many a time, in my experience. But we're still here. And there are a few people that are still around. But if you're wondering why a lot of people don't stick around for very long, it's for these very things. Because these people that make these websites and stuff, because they are so horrible to people that they don't want them to be around. Especially don't want them asking questions, saying things. So the website's gone down. I bet nobody even knew about it, because it's not the sort of thing that I don't think any of the people that watch this particular YouTube channel would ever dream of going and finding out. But yeah, it's been around for a bit, apparently. Not around no longer. I don't know whether this flatside thing had anything to do with it. I don't know whether they decided to scrub it because obviously you've found out who has been uploading this, who's been changing it. The names would have been there for people to look into. And I don't know whether that would be good for the people that did it. Sort of admitting of their doxing of people. Lying about people. And these are the people that, I presume, these are the people that get offended at people saying things like Emma says. This topic, the ridiculous topic of the shape of the earth, seems to come with a certain, is it a benefit? Fringe, not benefit, right? Few problems. I've never been bothered with it myself, but a lot of people have put us in the same bracket for whatever reason. And then there are a few, call it nutcases, doesn't need many, just people to be obsessed with this. Somebody spent a lot of time making that entire website with all of the people and the photos and the information that's on it. Fight the Flat Earth. He's on there. Right in the bottom of the screen. Recent Wiki activity. I wonder if that's why it's gone down. Let's see, look. I wouldn't hesitate to say, but that picture there in the live chat. Flatside obviously changed it because he said he changed it to take his surname out of it. McToon altered FE Banjo. A fandom user altered CC. And SK071 altered Bob Nadell and Fight the Flat Earth the same day? I mean, they're just random throwaway accounts, probably. But that McToon one looks familiar. I wonder why the site went down if McToon has been so lapsdaisical to just sort of leave his account as one of the ones that does actually go on and alter the stuff. Wonder why that site's gone down. No more, not around anymore. So thank you, Flatsoid. If it was Flatsoid that did it, I'm not too sure whether it was. And I hope Flatsoid gets his lawyers onto the fact of this defamation sort of thing. Ask his lawyers about when Fight the Flat Earth was calling me a child abuser. Maybe ask your lawyers about that. Maybe they might not remember. Might have forgot. There was another Flat Earth court case, wasn't there? Involving Bob Nadell. FE Core. Fight the Flat Earth with a defamation towards FE Core. Maybe it's just a story that was going around. Yeah, asking Akumu Virus can't come on. He doesn't have any proofs. There is no proof in reality, like that dude said earlier. That in the new modern science, they don't have proof. There's no such thing. There is no proof in modern science, and they all know it.
They call that evidence, but this evidence is not evident because it is based on some assumptions, like, for example, pictures from outer space.
Well, I don't know. You've got surely you can't have need pictures from outer space. I mean, maybe you could just have some sort of semi-proof.
I call that so-called evidence because, of course, it cannot be such a thing as outer space because it violates physical law.
He's got mathematical proof.
Oh,
well,
mathematical.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see
yeah.
that.
Oh, I am curious already. Yes.
Has Rompus taught you the maths for the Rompus poll? Because I mean, if you've got that, if he's let you do that before he puts his video out, because I don't think you get it. I don't think you can know the mathematical proof for the Rompus poll. It's just not possible. Akumu. It's not possible that Rompus has even told you. He did say he'd give the mathematical stuff out 5 years ago, but I don't think anybody else has got it. God, Jay, don't be laughing at the Rompus poll. Yeah, so exactly. So I don't think you'd even know about how to calculate the size of a Rompus pole over a certain distance. I don't think you've got it in you, Akumu Virus. You've not got it. In fact, I don't think there is anybody other than Rompus is the only one that can is it calculate the length of a Rompus pole? Yeah, he's never heard of it. Nobody's even Nobody even knows about it. Let me get the... I'll put it in the chat for you, Kumu. This is... You've surely seen the Bedford. I'll close that window off. You've seen the Bedford level, you know, the original one. Well, Rompus is going big. Rompus is doing that times 4, and he's inverting it. We're having a bit of a discussion whether the Rompus pole is an inverted Wallace or whether the Wallace is an inverted quarter Rompus pole. I don't know. I think Wallace probably did it first, but since Rompus is working on Rowbotham's mathematical numbers, it might be have grandfather rights for the original. Is it a chord or a tangent? Where do you measure your Rompus pole from? I'd say it's from the chord. Well, in fact, probably from the chord to the tangent. I think that would be safer to say, wouldn't it? I don't know. If Bakumu, if you are one of the mathematicians, then pop in. Let's see whether we can work this stuff out. Because we do have the maths, because Blue Marbles give us the size of it and everything. Yeah. Okay. Seems like a Kumu virus is a bit shy, obviously. You don't want to be stepping on Rumpus's toes. You never know what the repercussions of that are. Okay. Has anybody got anything else? It is free for all Friday. Has anybody got anything? Akumu doesn't want to tackle the mathematical complications of the nutsack trap. Yeah, he can't. He can only chat shit in the YouTube. That's okay. We get used to that sort of stuff. Oh. And obviously Rompus. I think Rompus has disappeared. Not too sure whether Rompus is ever going to come back again. Obviously Blue Marble Science has done enough to hurt whatever. Who is the mathematical genius? Akumu virus. If you can't type, if you can't come and join us, who's the best mathematician other than Rompus? Obviously, if Rompus disappears, like Jesse Kozlowski, if Rompus does a Jesse Kozlowski, not a judge. Rumpus does, God rest his soul. If everybody, if Rumpus does a Jesse Kozlowski, who would be the next best mathematician?
Well, Blue fancies himself as quite a mathematician.
Yeah, but obviously Blue can't talk to us.
Who did he have it
not
out with? Was it Buster with the decimal? Or was it Saragaki?
That was
Who was
Mobius with the
Mobius.
yeah.
That was funny.
You can't get to an accuracy that you can be happy with or something. I don't know what. It's a ridiculous argument.
Maybe Flat Earth Math? I don't know if he is around anymore.
Yeah, Mike does FE Math. Well, I mean, he's only pretends to be a mathematician, a mathematics teacher, right? He did say that he doesn't actually teach mathematics. It's sort of a bit of a joke. But yeah, I think he has. He's the guy that's been around for long enough. Too long.
Well, I don't know. Blue was doing some fancy calculations when he was doing his experiment there.
Well, Blue has given us the measurement for the Rompus pole over the entire length of the Bedford Canal.
And Blue was willing to bet me like thousands of dollars that one of the canals there at Ligo, it bends, was it 4 foot, Blue, on either side, 4 feet? So that, that's quite a measurement there. That's quite a calculation to do.
From the center, right? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 foot.
Well, he said it on either end, it drops at 4 feet. That was the actual. I don't even think we talked about the center, but, if you're a thinking man, obviously you know what the implications are, right? If either end is lower.
Yeah, down. That's what
down,
that's what Mike Jones is debating, Betty. Is the down.
Oh, that should be interesting.
Yep. Can you imagine grown men debating down?
Oh yeah, I've had hours of
I've
had hours of that. Yeah.
For me,
which direction is down? Sorry, whoever that was.
No problem. For me, this is just a replacement for vertical. So, are verticals divergent or not, or they are parallel, and the same would be with down. I would say, why not with up? Because if you have plumbob hanging down, you can also have like helium balloon hanging up, not down.
Yeah, that's child play. What if this is Free for All Friday? So, what if I was to tell you that some people think in their mythical sphere, when you start going down, once you reach the center, you start floating? What would you think of that?
Yes, you are. Then you have to be in a center of gravity, so you are floating because you are weightless.
Oh no! That's maximum.
Maximum of what?
You can't have weightless at the center and weightless at the extremities.
Wait.
Can happen. But center of the mass, yeah.
But gravity is supposed to be mass attracting mass. So what when one mass is inside other mass already in the center? So it is not attracting anymore because it has to be some distance between masses to attract them. So that would mean that they are not attracting themselves anymore.
It would put you at the center of the attraction, though, right? Everything would be attracted to you. Right, you're at the center.
Tempting thought.
Center mass. Yep. Anyways, it's a theoretical mumbo jumbo, but this is how their minds think. So that's just half of the equation. So you continue going and then you go up. Then down becomes up, going the same vector. So, yeah, that's their fantasy. If you keep going down, down becomes up.
Yeah, but up never becomes down.
No.
It's sort of like the flat Earth north and south.
Oh yeah, that's another mind melt.
In a similar sort of way, right?
Uh-huh.
So you can see the similarities between the two models in that respect. I don't go with either of them, right? Because there just seems like there's too many contradictions for me.
Yeah, you have to suspend logic. Yeah.
These are the sort of questions that I'm pretty sure don't get asked. And I know that they can't be resolved. There is no resolving these issues. Only paralogisms just passed on. Or come join us at Epoche and say, I don't know, too much like a contradiction. You have to start drawing Rompus poles. That's the problem, right? If you ever find yourself drawing a Rompus pole, you've got a contradiction on your hands. And the Rompus pole's only there to resolve the contradiction. I'm hoping to have a word with one of the top globe mathematicians, because I think we might be able to help them within the formulation of this new maths, new geometry. But well, we'll wait and see if there is any globe mathematicians willing to come in and attempt to explain a Rompus pole. I'd say it'd be a little bit hard, because you have to measure a zero elevation change. Not measure, cite a zero elevation change.
And in order to that, you also will have to ignore perspective, because with perspective, it would be difficult. But just ignoring perspective would make it easier. Of course, it would be still impossible, but easy impossible.
Yeah, you have to forget about the impossibilities. This is globe proof we're talking about. Well, no, you can't even call it globe proof. What are we going to call it? If they admit
evidence.
that they don't... globe evidence, that's it. Globe geometric evidence. Even though the sort of geometric just deals with proofs normally, right? But...
This is not that geometry.
yeah, not that. The geometry of the not that. nothing yet about the Rompus poll on Wiki. It's because Rompus hasn't put his video out yet. Like he's not made this evidence, geometric evidence, open to the world yet.
Or maybe he lost the footage like NASA. So we don't know.
He doesn't need the footage for the geometric evidence, does he? I mean, like,
I wonder.
Blue Marble gave us the length of a Rompus pole for the, you know, for the full nutsack drop. Am I using that term colloquially? Of course.
I wonder, will Rompus still do the showing to a few privileged few, like they do a pre-showing of a movie? Some of us are supposed to get the inside scoop, no? The
Well, yeah, you're meant to be doing it, and like I was hoping that he'd have already let you see this. The pre-screening, is it?
The pre-screening, yeah.
And he did say he was doing some other videos before that, even, didn't he? On, you know, just sort of general globe proofs.
I think he did mention something about that, yeah. But what interests me is the pre-screening, so we can, you know, get the facts and, you know, we can see what he can expect.
You, Mobius, and Asken were the three that were invited to it.
The three chosen,
yeah.
the three chosen ones, yeah.
And has anybody heard of any of the Rumpus's 13? You know, the disciples.
Yeah, I'm one.
Yeah, Bloods.
Yeah, Bloods is in there.
Yeah.
You didn't even get a chance to go and see the pre-screening. No. He's not been invited to see the pre-screening.
Not seen none of that. I just quickly apologised to WK. I timed him out by accident. I dropped my phone, went to grab it. While I was picking it up, I timed him out. And apparently he's already been timed out a few times. My apologies. Yeah. No so, problem. Yeah, I didn't get invited to the screening or whatever it was. And I'm still waiting to see any of it.
I think Rompus has done a Jesse Kozlowski. I don't think you'll be seeing Rompus.
Everybody had a month.
Yeah, a couple of months. Give him a bit of time off. Give him his respite or whatever they have.
Refresh it all again.
Yeah, the reset.
Yeah, so I want to do a series of videos. With what? Come on, mate. Oh.
Yeah, it's only a globe evidence, isn't it, for Rompus?
I don't know what it is.
It's not as if it's big news or anything. I don't know why everybody keeps going on about it.
We can have a showdown. If Rompus does his test, right? Then we can compare the pictures we have, well, meaning you and the boys, and the pictures they have.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that Blue Marble kept hold of any of the videos that he saw that Rompus was doing. Perhaps Rompus only showed him on sharing his screen when he went over there, because Blue Marble keeps asking us for pictures of it. So I don't think he can have any of Rumpus's. I don't think Blue Marble actually kept hold of any of the footage that he said he'd seen from Rumpus 2 years ago.
It was actual footage, just pictures of bendy poles and sheep. I don't know what he's got. I mean, but from all I heard, he'd done it. By the time they'd managed to put everything up at the end of the day, it was time to go home.
Yeah.
So they didn't even bother to go to the other side to do anything. They just packed up.
They didn't even bother to go and see whether they could see it.
Yeah. Right. Farmers went off hacking grass down and, talking to sheep. Yeah, same time.
It's too funny, man.
I heard he collapsed.
Oh, I don't know.
Farmer's boy, yeah.
Maybe why we don't have the tapes is maybe it's like a Mission Impossible style. You get it, but it's a one-time view and then disappears. It erases. Top secret Rumpus files.
Absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
That's what I find. I find this group of people that we are in are so fickle, right? Let's say you've got the flat earthers, right? Now, would the flat earthers be bothered about a guy who's called Fight the Flat Earth, assaulting people, actually in reality and being convicted of that, right? Actually fighting people when he's called Fight the Flat Earth?
Yeah, some guy from a council estate. I don't think so, to tell you the truth.
They're not bothered, right?
No.
They're not bothered about the major contention. And similarly, on the other side, you've got them admitting that they have no proof for their model, for the globe model, right? And science to support it. They have only evidence, yet when Rompus, one of the claimed mathematical geniuses of the globe, he's the one that did all of the globe numbers, when he's doing a test to rival and better Wallace, who is one of the claimed proofs of curvature, when he's doing that, then they're not bothered about that either. It's almost as if this arena isn't even real, I would say. Because nobody's really bothered about the people that are fighting them, and nobody's bothered about the not proofs that they have about their entire model.
No, just want to go and ask circular reasoning and argue in circles non-stop.
Yeah, asking. Yeah, I've heard that as well, right? Now, Rompus has laser engraved souvenirs for the day. They've already been sorted. Yeah. Has anybody ever seen a picture of I don't know, whether it's an engraving of a Rumpus pole that people are going to get?
With a little statue of it, wasn't it? A little plaque on it.
Yeah.
No?
Well, I don't know. We don't even know what it is.
Oh, yeah. It wouldn't be like an obelisk or anything like that, though. It would just be like this curve pole.
Yeah, a Rumpus pole through the sights of a crosshairs, right? I can imagine seeing that. But nobody knows. We just have to imagine what it is. This Bloods will get one whenever he goes and does it because he's a participant.
Well, the Rompus pole, I think, would be a straight line, but the bit he stuck on top of it wasn't.
He told us one day, I forget, he was telling me what he had. He was going to engrave something, was either a disc or a plaque or something. He told us. Years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, years ago.
I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah.
Waiting. Excuse me.
Certainly didn't get any awards for video, did he? Video awards or anything.
Well, that would go to the BBC because, they would be there. Yeah. Maybe he'd get honorable mention or something.
I don't know. I think Bloods would be the cameraman, right? Rumpus would be missing out if he didn't have Bloods as the cameraman over there. Sorted. That's that done. It just needs his 13 men to go and 12 men. Bloods is one of them.
Yeah.
He needs his men to go and hold poles up for him.
Well, how about the BBC? Where are they going to have their cameras? Surely they're going to have cameras as well, no?
Well, they could be like bird's eye view sort of thing from the sky, you know?
Oh, cameras, yeah. Helicopters.
The whole shebang.
Have the satellites up there, anyway, wouldn't they, for beaming the Wi-Fi signal?
Defo. Get their own
Throw up a
triangulation
couple of
lines.
Saddaloons for the occasion. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the connection isn't that good. I mean, we did test that, didn't we, with the Discord? The Discord connection isn't too good as the moment you go into the dip.
Yeah. Away from the main road and that.
Yeah. It's almost as though the only Wi-Fi they get round that area comes from towers.
Yeah.
And seeing as there's no mountains. Gets a bit tricky. So if anybody knows anybody who has got any sort of a mathematical acumen, send them over here. I'm really interested. Want to have a discussion with somebody about the geometric principles behind the Rompus pole and how it relates to a horizontal. If you'd fancy yourself as a globe geometer, dogmatic, of course, then pop us a thing. It's coming up to the weekend. Normally the best times for us to go over this. I'm going to be explaining to everyone how the maths works. I think I'm sort of I've been dropping hints to everybody. There's a few propositions that seem to keep popping their heads up. So I don't know if you're anybody out there, any blue marble scientists that are good with new maths, then pop in. Let's see whether we can get this sorted. We might even be able to drop the ball on Rompus. Give him a hand for some stuff to put in his videos. I think that's all he's missing now. He's just finishing touches. Can only be that, really. He's had 2 years to do them.
Gotta be.
He's had the footage for 2 years.
He's probably already done the first series.
Yeah.
Series 2 now.
Yeah, he's probably waiting for a deal. Maybe BBC, ITV, you never know. He might go for Discovery. He might be working
Nova.
on a series of Discovery Channel. National Geographic. There you go.
Oh, yeah, or Nova. Oh, I can't think of a better one.
Rompus at the canal. The Rompus, sorry.
But I can't understand why he doesn't take you guys up on the offer. I mean, you're a crack team. You got your phone sorted out. You got the tripod sorted out. You got Wi-Fi sorted out. You guys are like Delta Force or SAS, right? And
yeah,
he just
what we could do is we could set the auto level up, put the camera on the auto level at the bridge. Bloods could be there with his P1000, and Rompus and Farmer's Boy could be messing about with the pole.
Yeah.
Right, they could be doing all of that work, and we could just say, "Hiya," and then they could look in the Discord and be able to see it for themselves.
Yeah.
Sounds really simple, really, the way I'm thinking of it.
Yeah.
We could even get some people filming Rompus and Farmer's Boy putting the pole up.
Well, if you guys bring the SAS, your squad, right? All they would need is a pole, really. A couple of poles.
Yeah, just get Rompus to bring the Rompus poles.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. We could cut down on a few men. I mean, obviously, we've got cameras and stuff. 4 of us. There's 4 of us. I get my lad as well. 5. It's like half the crew done. But I can remember that George didn't want us there. But since George isn't going to be there, then there's no reason for us to not come down there.
Yeah, George grew up with me being there. I mean, he come in George come in and had a chat with me one morning. Then went away and got Rompus. Brought Rompus back for a little chat with us. Like, I think George was a little bit worried about Rompus, what Rompus was going to get, like his results or what he thought he'd get. You know. But,
I remember the measuring part. It was the extendable measuring part of the pole that George didn't think Rompus had the ability to design it and do it properly. But hey, that'll be sorted when Rompus does his making of the Rompus pole video that he's going to do.
Series.
Mm-hmm. The erection of the Rompus pole. There you go. That's what Farmer's Boy and Rompus were doing. They were erecting the Rompus pole.
Yeah.
And if you do want anyone to film it, then we're your man. We've got all of the experience. I mean, we could just use the end sluice gates. You could erect a Rompus pole there at the sluice gates. But I think Farmer's Boy was keen on him having about 5 Rompus poles. Does that sound right?
Was he?
I think so. I think that's why you need 13 men. You need 2
men
at each Rompus pole.
Yeah, he did mention he wanted a couple of guys at each station, 5 or 6 stations going along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what he called them, stations. Yeah, 2 per station. Yeah.
Well, that would make sense. 2 per station, 5 stations. That's 10 people. I'm good at maths. If you need anybody helping out with maths, Rompus, I can help you out with that. And then that leaves 3 men spare, doesn't it?
You also need a whole bunch of thermistors, he said. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
The boy and the pole. The boy and the pole master. Because Rompus would have to be the guy. It's his idea, isn't it? I really did think it was George's, right? Because George always called Rainy Lake an Uber Bedford. And then Rompus tells us that he was the one that advised George. He told George about it.
Oh, okay.
So apparently Rompus knows all about this, and the George one was just a test. This is the big one at the home of the level, right? The original place.
Well, yeah, he was going to get the local papers as well as the BBC. Listen, Cambridge Skeptic crew.
Because I think I saw Spaghetti Scientist with a Rainy Lake one just recently. Let me have a look, see if I can find that. That might be good. What's that? What's it called?
Voice figured out. I can science.
I can
science that.
Science that. Look, when it comes up, it's a live discussion with Bev about the level test. Thinks it's a level test. So dishonest, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right. See, now this is Rainy Lake. Do you wanna see this?
Go on.
This is I Can Science That, colloquially called Spaghetti Scientist. There we go.
Here's a time-lapse video showing some interesting refraction effects. As I start the video over, I'd like to draw your attention to this obvious mirror layer here. We won't be considering anything below this line. For our purpose,
see that original original video source, Rainy Lake. This is George's stuff. No credit given to George for any of this.
Oh, yeah.
Who would know that this is George's? As you can see, they're all of these are at the same height. I can't remember. 6 miles anyway, and that's what these targets are. And George went backwards and forwards, adjusting them to make them, well, whatever.
Purposes, I'd like to focus on this particular black and white target, and we'll be looking at this snowbank that is occluded behind it.
Occluded.
As I let the video play, watch what happens with the snowbank as it rises up from behind the occlusion. The obvious interpretation is that refraction has lifted the image of the snowbank, which would otherwise be occluded by that target. But maybe not. Maybe this is the unrefracted image. Maybe we're seeing the snowbank where it really belongs, and it was artificially lowered by refraction in this earlier shot.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe. What's the conclusion of this so far? It's just a picture, right? It means nothing. You can't tell. Even he can't tell what's going on.
No, we could have stated that.
George isn't going to come back again and help him out. Why is this one down here? Why are we only looking at this one here? It's too far, obviously. I mean, look at it. And look at the conditions. It's even worse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pick a good day, will you, George? Bad day. Pick a day that you can't tell anything. But, I mean, mainly talking about I can science that, not giving any credit to any of this footage from anyone.
So let's watch the time lapse again, and this time focus on this green patch right here.
What green patch?
So if this is the unrefracted image, then the refraction pulled the green patch out from behind the obstruction in the earlier shot. So either the white patch is being pulled up from behind the obstruction, or the green patch is being pulled down from behind the obstruction. Either way, refraction is allowing us to see around an obstruction.
That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
Crikey.
Literally, that's it.
What?
What was that about?
Holy shit. There you go.
Okay, so that's I can science that, going over some footage from the Rainy Lake, which obviously shows some really bad refraction on a time lapse, showing that it wanders about all over the place. What are you meant to tell from that? Simple thing is, pictures over long distance can't tell you anything because it's all over the place. And yeah, I'd like to say that was George's footage. Please give George the credit. You didn't even do a video. You did one for Bob. Nothing for George. And now everybody's robbing George's stuff as though it's theirs.
Bad.
Some ridiculous fucking clip. So, I happened to see that the other day. It came up on my feed. Right? Can you imagine that? I don't know whether he's a mathematician, is he? Does he claim to be a mathematician? Bet he can't explain the Rompus pole. And that footage, obviously, George has never released. Well, I've never seen it anyway. I've never heard George talk about any of that footage. So it must have made its way to, I'm guessing, Walter Bislin. Walter Bislin's now got all of George's Rainy Lake footage. God rest his soul. And they should be ashamed of themselves, really. I might have to go over that footage again with Spaghetti Scientists. That was funny, that. A live discussion with Bev about the level test. The level test. No, he means the realizing Euclid test. But we can do that. First off, though, is deciding on the straight line. A to B. And that's why I think we need a globe mathematician. The Beddy debate's going to be a little bit too far off the Mike Jones / Beddy down debate.
When and where is this supposed to happen? If it ever happens.
Blue Marble Science Channel. He's coming out of retirement.
Oh.
He's obviously not having Rompus co-host this. This is one that's been requested by Beddy over at Blue Marble Science.
Sacre bleu.
Mm-hmm. Down the double drop. But it's like the 18th of May or something. Beddy didn't want to do it on the 4th. Is it the 4th of May? Because it's the Coronation. Is it? Saturday.
8th,
The 8th. Yeah, he didn't want to do it on the 8th because that's the coronation of the king.
Well, we can't miss that now, can we?
Beddy can't, can he? I mean, like, listen to him. He's going to be waving flags and all sorts.
Charles is going to be coronated. Come on. Yeah. I never thought I'd see the day, but yeah, here it comes. I always thought they'd give it to somebody else, but they can't. It's in line, right? So, yeah. Who's after Charles? Does anybody know?
Yeah, it'll be William, won't it?
One of his sons, right?
Yeah, William. Best.
Yeah.
Well, then got one.
Is it William? Yes. He has a son called William. And Harry, not Harry.
Harry's an outcast, no? He was, how do they call it?
Ginger.
Oh, that's good.
The Queen has outcast him. Well, God rest her soul, not anymore. She's gone. Can you recast? Let's say now the new king. Can he incast and outcast? Or it doesn't work like that?
Well, I think they're waiting for printing all of the money and everything.
They got room for his ears.
For him to put he's got to put a crown on him, haven't they? They can't print any mint. They can't mint any coins or notes or anything until he's got a crown on his head.
Right, we're gonna have him in our dollar too up here. Oh boy, I forgot about that. Yeah, all the dollar Commonwealth.
Crikey.
Hooray!
Obviously.
But how did they get that away, pass that away, like by people? They're German. The British Crown, they're German. It's what a mess, man.
I don't think you could say that. I think you could say they've definitely got their they paid the national insurance, right? They've got every right to be called British.
Right, right.
Yeah, I was hoping that they would have their debate before the coronation, because then they could crown Beddy king of the globe, couldn't they? They could have had a battle for the king of Down. Who
Coronation.
would be crowned the king of Down? Mike Jones or Beddy?
Oh, that's gonna be comical. That's gonna be like not to be missed.
Ain't he a bit pissed off with his digital currency coming? All these fucking coins are going to be taken away, aren't they?
He'll get a few coins, won't he? I'd probably be the last monarch to ever have coins. I think it'll go digital after that.
Good point. Yeah.
Probably be looking at the coins going, oh, do we have to do that again? Maybe people will want to throw the coins away.
Yeah, the stores are getting fewer and fewer. A lot of them you see automatic checkouts over here. And you have cash. Well, you're gonna have to go to a cash register, right? And there's usually like 30 people there. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely reduce the amount of cashiers tenfold.
I think there's one chippy in the village that only takes cash.
I'd be using that chippy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once a week.
Yeah, they all seem to be food stuff. Yeah, they do.
You mean fish and chips when you say chippy?
Yeah.
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 Well, yeah. But they do Chinese and all sorts of stuff like that. High class. They don't just do fish and chips. All of those chippies have gone by the wayside, haven't they?
Yeah, get the Speedsides. Get one of them.
I don't ever use cash myself. Oh. I don't have any for starters. I don't get given any, so. Anybody got anything else? I don't mind ending it earlier. It's a bit of a shame because it's Friday night. But as we know, I think there's all sorts of other things going on. Friday night, debates.
They won't come in here. They won't come and talk about their. Even though it's Friday, right? Free for all, they can talk about any fantasy they want. The ISS seems to be a hot topic now. The O-rings.
God.
That's over at Geo's, is it?
Yeah.
Crikey.
Blue's doing quite well over there, is he?
Well, he's getting triggered big time. Every time he hears O-rings, he goes crazy.
Right. You know, since Blue turned back up over at Geo's, Have you seen Bob?
No.
Nope.
Why is that?
I haven't seen Bob anywhere.
Because Bob was in Geos, wasn't he? Like quite a bit.
Yeah.
Ducks area a few times. You know, you're supposed to do a couple of shows, but
On the Sextant, he did a thing on the Sextant.
yeah. Apparently, he'd missed a couple, but done a couple. I've done them at a later date, probably, but too late for me to watch.
Yeah, that's a bit of a weird one. I hope Blue Marble hasn't chased Bob out. I hope he's given him his fair share of being able to go in Geos. Like, seems a bit. You know, Bob is only just getting himself back together again, wasn't he? After the, you know.
What are you saying? They're pals. What are you saying?
Well, I'm saying that ever since Blue Marble turned back up there, then there's no Bob. Bob's gone missing again. I mean, they don't hang about together or anything, do they? I mean, they may say that they're friends, but something may have happened on the weight measuring shorter than a straight line trip to the Sextant holiday, you know.
You think? I thought they were besties.
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's not me to pry, but I just have noticed that it's a shame that Bob's not around.
Well, I do kind of miss his great circle straight line talk. To be honest with you, it's kind of comical.
That was fresh, right? The shorter than a straight line distance travelled in his car was one of the, like, that was a new argument. I've never even heard that one before, and it's a shame that he never got to develop it. That's why I think
he did actually.
Blue might have silenced him.
No, he extended that one. He extended that one to a plane.
Yeah.
So first he cut like 20, 30 miles or something. But then he cut like 800 miles off a plane flight. So he should have went further, but yeah, that's quite a thing, man. Imagine cutting like 800 miles off a route, off a straight line route.
Yeah. He could save trucking companies.
Millions, billions. Yeah.
And they've got him, what's he doing? Just sat in the bottom of his garden looking through a telescope at the lights in the sky. Waste, it's a waste.
Well, he does have a nice scope. I'll give him that. That's a nice telescope.
It's like a midlife crisis, but boomer.
Like instead of getting a Corvette, you get a souped-up telescope.
Well, I think it's a disease of the learned, right? Where you reach this age, maybe you spot a couple of contradictions. You go and find solace in lights in the sky, especially if you can like measure angles to them. Because imagine how big a Rompus pole you could find with the light in the sky.
Oh yeah, imagine how of a distant star you could draw an angle to.
Yeah. Well,
billions
all
of
you
light
need is
years.
an angle, right? You need the equipotential angle of adjustment, and then you can generate a Rompus pole in the mind.
A Rompus pole in space.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
and then you're on a model, right? You can prove your model with a Rompus pole. You can't have a Rompus pole if you haven't got a model. So the very fact that you can measure, well, you can pre-calculate a Rompus pole means that there has to be a model there. Has to be. Can you hear my cat? No, it's only my cat, this one.
I haven't heard that cat for a while. It used to come on all the
Show
time.
cat, yeah.
Yeah, what happened to it?
I don't know. It's decided to come back again. Probably feed time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if anybody has a model that they want to put some faith in, you know, I heard something the other day. Have you heard of a worldview? Have you ever tried Googling that? I think it's a philosophical type thing. Let me just Google search it.
Where they put you in an outside look, like looking at a sphere kind of a thing. All you got to do for that is zoom out, no?
I'll put it in the live chat. Right, see if this sounds familiar. A worldview or a Weltanschauung, it's a German thing, is the fundamental cognitive orientation of an individual or society, encompassing the whole of the individual's or society's knowledge, culture, and point of view. A worldview can include natural philosophy, fundamental, existential, and normative postulates or themes, values, emotions, and ethics.
I thought you were talking about maps. Holy shit.
Like that.
Yeah.
It's like a philosophical thing, isn't it? Like I've been saying, that your worldview is everything you know of it's everything that you know.
From your cult, yeah.
And that changes, obviously, by your culture, your society, all sorts of different things.
Yeah, when I look at those different pictures, it's like looking and thinking of the news and how they shape our views and our thoughts. Like, you know, when you think 9/11, for example, right? You see a building, right? And that where have you seen that? On the news, right? All these thoughts and that, it's like implanted without even you realizing it.
Yep, that's what it's all about. German philosophy, epistemology, wide world perception.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, this probably the worldwide perception then, is to do with statistics, numbers.
Says additionally, it refers to the framework of ideas and beliefs forming a global description through which an individual, group, or culture watches and interprets the world and interacts with it as a social reality. It's good because it's on about a cognitive philosophy, right? Something that you take on into your mind.
Yeah, slowly feeding you what they want you to see, hear, think. Yeah.
A lot of it is statistics and numbers.
Would you mean the way
Of
that
what's,
they use the
well,
info to manipulate, or?
I mean, yeah, just statistics seem to have, they're quite important to a lot of people, I think, because everyone's buying the papers with the statistics in, and they're either and numbers. You know, it's all about numbers, whether it's money or how many people voted for this, or it seems to be very mathematical. Worldviews.
Well, that is true. When you think of the world, you think how many people this and how many that, and how many are Christian, how many are Muslim. Yeah, yeah. How many people are in that country? So in that sense, yeah, numbers are there. But I was thinking of it more like them implanting, of course, through the media, radio, pictures, the whole bit. Their,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. The numbers is just one part of that. Yeah.
yeah.
But it's quite a big part, I think.
I think that's a real big part because when they do census, right, they use that. Okay, so many people believe this and they believe that, so we can put them against them, and then they'll turn to these guys, and then all of them will vote for. Okay, got it. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everyone's, but even time, time's numbers. So everyone's just dealing with numbers all the time.
Yeah. You know who's a
Things wouldn't
master
necessarily
manipulator?
happen.
You know who's a master manipulator? And man, he doesn't seem that way. He seems like a bozo. He seems like a young guy that doesn't know what he's doing. Our prime
Go on.
minister, our prime minister. He's a master manipulator. I gotta tip my hat to him. Like he's figured out, like we have a lot of different ethnic groups here, right? And each ethnic group celebrates a certain holiday, right? Like the Greeks celebrate this Easter, or the Italians celebrate this, and the Portuguese celebrate that, right? The Hindus will celebrate. So what he does is he goes to all these occasions on their like national day or whatever, and he parades with them, he dances with them. Yeah, that's what these guys do, man. That's how they win it.
Oh. Wow, check this out. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll screenshot it so I can put it in Discord and you guys can see it. Right, yeah. This is the worldview, and if anybody can read that on Discord or in the YouTube. It says one can think of a worldview as comprising a number of basic beliefs which are philosophically equivalent to the axioms of the worldview considered as a logical or consistent theory. These basic beliefs cannot, by definition, be proven in the logical sense within the worldview, precisely because they are axioms and are typically argued from rather than argued for. However, their coherence can be explored philosophically and logically. If two different worldviews have sufficient common beliefs, it may be possible to have a constructive dialogue between them. If they do. On the other hand, if different worldviews are held to be basically incommensurable and irreconcilable, then the situation is one of cultural relativism and into something that is only true for them. Subjective logic is a belief reasoning formalism, where beliefs explicitly are subjectively held by individuals, but where a consensus between different worldviews can be achieved. A consensus.
That's a double speak.
Yeah.
First he says no, then he says yes.
Yep. It's pretty obvious that you can't really, if you have a different worldview, and I'm thinking it's about, like you were saying earlier about the Aboriginals, right? The Aborigines. Then they would have a completely different worldview than you would.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. But could people within the same societal structure have a different worldview?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's
But
just something in the mind,
a general one. Not a general one, right? Like not an encapsulating one. Yeah.
Would you then go to a consensus, right, to find out the worldview of the society, right? And would you then be expected to change your worldview to comply with the consensus of society?
Well, it depends. This is not a hard question. It depends which society. We can name two societies right off the bat and say one will allow you to be what you want, and the other one will force you to conform to what you just said. And I don't have to name names.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm saying like that's what we're in at the minute, right? We're in one of these societies at the minute where worldviews obviously differ around the same thing.
And consensus will never be made. That I am sure of.
Well, they assume that's why the individual can become the consensus, right? Because they do say that there are billions of people on the side of the consensus, don't they? You know, like they group the consensus around them, even though they imagine that you have a different worldview. Just something to take along on the journey that we're all on. How do you reconcile these different worldviews? Mostly you just keep out the way, but it's not the same as that, like living on the internet. It isn't the same as shutting the world outside and your neighbours, right? It's not just a matter of closing your door when you're on the internet. You've got people making fandom sites about people. You don't even know whether you were on there or not, do you, Essie?
No clue. That's kind of creepy. It's the first time I heard about it today, actually.
Yeah. I bet it's the first time a lot of people heard about it and it's gone. So you don't even know whether you were on there, who was on there, who was doing it. It's a little bit weird.
Weird, not surprising though, because how many times have we been told by a couple of people that I can remember that they keep files that's going in your file?
Yeah.
How many times have we heard that? Yeah.
Yeah, and then they say you're being paranoid whenever you say it, but there was actually sites out there that, I mean, there probably still is, different places. Has anybody checked McToon's? I don't know. I wouldn't check McToon's website, but I bet there's loads of stuff like that all over McToon's. Because, I mean, if that's going to go down, right, for whatever reasons, I don't know. Blue Marble Science has got an entire YouTube channel dedicated to similar sort of things, hasn't he? I know it's modern science, right? It is what Blue Marble Science considers science. But similar sort of thing to that fandom wiki. Just lies about people.
Imagine taking your time and to make a site like that and then populate it and then put stuff in and put pictures in, and it's like something is up with you if you do a thing like that.
Yeah, I've got a website and I haven't put that much time into it.
No, but I'm not saying not to put time into your own website, but this is a website slandering other people.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Putting and doxing people.
They've put a lot of time into it.
Yeah.
Like a lot. More time than I have for my actual website.
Yeah.
It would be good to have somebody doing that for you, you know, to propagate your website with all sorts of stuff. Yeah, gadget, we know. Not hypocritical at all. Him talking to the same people. I have offered Fight the Flat Earth a rematch on the, you know, whether teaching level is horizontal to your children is beneficial or not. He doesn't seem to want to have those sort of debates. He's rather, I don't know, rather debate strange named people. But I'm going to have a conversation with someone about this, the Rompus poll, the geometric proofs. I've got a really good series of all of these. Because they are Reductio ad absurdums for realising Euclid. And I can say that quite safely. There's only 17 people watching. I don't think they'll actually get it. I don't think it'll get back to any of them, and I don't think any of them actually know what realising Euclid is. So the Rompus poll is a Reductio ad absurdum for realising Euclid. Mark that in the diary. That's the next series of videos that we're probably going to be doing. Probably going to be doing a lot less of these live shows, putting a bit more effort into actually making these videos. So if anybody wants to get involved with all of this sort of stuff, then it's probably going to be within the Discord, and the videos will be coming and being made and then being put out. I've got a fair few talking videos, a series of them with a guy called Mr. Slave, a travelling debater of very, very low standards. But it's going to be modern day style debating, I think. This is where the conversations are going to go. Genesis, it's Friday night, Genesis, drinking time. Welcome back.
Hey, Swedish water.
He's got bad eyes. He's got bad eyesight. He can only see 3 miles.
Yeah. It's the Swedish water.
Just stops dead due to curvature. You want to watch out for that curvature if it's doing that. It's been a while, Genesis. I was just listening to the one of the conversations that we had I think I called it going back to the Genesis, something like that. Or the genesis of an argument, I think it was. It's curvature. Earth's curvature affects eyesight or your worldview. Worldview. He says, my worldview is rather short. It ends about 3 miles away due to Earth curvature. Well, that's pretty model afflicted, I'd say, Genesis. Sounds like a London sort of thing. To think that your worldview is based around Earth curvature and you not being able to see so far because of Earth curvature. That's it's interesting. Is not SE the best mathematician you have? After paper, of course. I don't know. I wasn't really asking that. I was asking who's the best on the globe? Who's the best globe mathematician? Who can best describe a Rompus pole and what Rompus is doing geometrically on your model? Genesis, that was the thing. I mean, if you're not one of the representatives, then that's fine.
Genesis loves math.
He likes to say that, right? But he doesn't ever do any maths. He just likes to say things. He's I call him a globe argumentative, like a globe arguer, in the fact that they never actually have an argument. They just argue that other people can't do whatever they state that they can, right? They argue against the claims of other people.
Yeah, they love their math. Because when they tell you a distance, let's say 1.5 billion years away, and you start right out laughing because you can't help it, right? And they'll say, can you do the math? Have you done the math? The math to what, dude? The math to what? Yeah. They think saying math saves them for some reason or another, or any other, refraction, whatever they say.
Okay, Genesis. The Rompus pole. Is it perpendicular to the sight line, the horizontal at the auto level, or is it perpendicular at its base? Something I've been and if so, how do you measure the height of the Rompus pole through calculation? Or, wait a minute now. Start off with that one first, yeah. I don't want to confuse you. Is the Rompus pole perpendicular to the horizontal within the auto level, or is it perpendicular at the base? Yeah, there you go. He's laughing. No,
of course he's laughing.
From Genesis. Because he can't do the maths. No one can. It's a shame, really, because Rompus has left them with no way of answering what Rompus is actually doing.
I have a simple one for Genesis. Genesis, I hope you're listening. We have a spirit level. We go down to Home Depot, we buy a spirit level. Get a nice long one, 6 feet long. And it has 3 bubbles. It has 1 bubble in the middle and 1 bubble on either end. Let me ask you, Genesis, are all of those 3 points level and horizontal?
Genesis still controlling the chat, is he? He can only see 3 miles.
Would you answer my question, Genesis?
He won't.
Let's see the math. Let's see how you can do the math on that. Shouldn't be hard. 6 foot spirit level, 3 points, A, B, C. What's the relationship between them? Geometrically, that is.
Mm-hmm. So, Genesis, by the basis of the being perpendicular in the middle, would that make the chord a horizontal? I suppose it would. If the chord was generated perpendicular at the center point, because that's where the tangent is the center point of the chord, isn't it? It's the sagitta.
I knew he was going to say that. Single point geometry. This is it. This is the new reality. Single point geometry.
That does generate the horizontal chord, as Blue says. The chord has to be called a horizontal if you want it to. It is the horizontal chord. It's only horizontal in the center, but the chord is horizontal. There you go. Genesis says correct. Yeah.
Dialetheism. Yeah.
That sagitta height. You know what we call that? From the chord. It's an upward direction, right?
Yeah. You hear what he typed?
Let's put this stuff together. Yeah, it's correct.
The perpendicularity thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the the sagitta, the height from the chord, the one that Jesse Kozlowski measured, like Blue said. He was measuring the height from the internal tangent chord plane. Do you know what that is? So nobody can get this. It's a Wallace, isn't it? That's the Wallace. That's the quarter of a Rompus pole. That's why I'm waiting to see if any of the Globers know this maths. And if no Globers do, I'll teach you guys it. obvious that you guys can't get it either. I don't know why nobody can explain this. That height of the sagittor in the centre from the internal tangent chord plane is
the hump.
It's the hump, yeah. It's a Wallace. It's a quarter.
Yep.
It's a quarter inverted, obviously, because it's in the upward direction. Whereas a Rompus pole is the full nutsack. The 4 times the Wallace. Go for the big lad.
Damn.
Go for the big Rompus pole. It's there. But the only
Ambitious.
question is, like I was asking him, is it perpendicular to the horizontal, or is it perpendicular at the base? Because it can't really be perpendicular to the chord, can it?
To the chord? No. Can it? I don't know. This is ball.
Yeah,
ball
that's why
logic.
we need
Pure
to. Yeah,
logic.
we need to get the I mean, I can work out the maths, but I just find it difficult to work out where the height of the Rompus pole was measured. If you're going to be looking at it from point A, where's it perpendicular to? Because it can't be perpendicular to point A.
It would have to be at the base of where it's at, no?
You'd have to.
I don't know.
Yeah, you'd have to relate it to the chord, to the A and B on a chord, if you know, for the globe maths.
But can you have perpendicular on a sphere?
At a point, yeah.
At point.
Yeah, that's where I was wanting to know, which point is the Rompus pole perpendicular to? And if it is, then how can blue marble give us a measurement for the total distance of a Rompus pole if it's not perpendicular to the auto level that's going to cite it?
NORAD has it. Spherendicular.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can keep up with this globe maths, and unfortunately for the globe guys, me, Bev, I've got the rhetoric for this. I can explain it all. I mean, it may seem contradictory, but this is the way it has to be. I'll tell you straight. Because I know I can understand Euclid and say that it's definitely not Euclidean. Well, it is Euclidean, right? But the contradictions don't fit the purpose of what it is. So it's like an imagining of Euclidean geometry into the realm of globe. Dogmatic globe, obviously. And Genesis is one of these ones that was said to have learned. They can only travel in packs and groups, and like Genesis is a solo guy. He can't come and talk about this. He has to get heavily drunk in order to communicate with people. And that obviously ends up with him not portraying himself to his best ability.
Yeah, imagine proving Einstein wrong with a skateboard, Genesis. Wouldn't that be a funny thing?
Einstein?
Yeah.
Einstein. Was Einstein bothered about Lake Pontchartrain? He did come to America, didn't he? He might.
Was it even built when he came there? I don't even remember what year it was built, to be honest with you.
I don't know.
But I'm sure he wouldn't have had no thoughts about that bridge whatsoever. He had atomic bombs on his mind.
Do you think Einstein would have gone for the blue marble hump, or do you think he'd have gone for the Rompus pole, the full nutsack drop?
It depends which blueprint he saw when he was at the office there.
I reckon
Depends
it
which one he saw
depends
first.
what globe model
the
you've had in your mind. Which one is more believable to you? The hump or the Rompus pole, the drop, obviously. But not
Neither
drop,
one.
right? It's an equal elevation, not drop, Rompus pole.
Neither one, because I know how water flows and how it doesn't. And I know you'd have to be ridiculous to think that water could hump or drop. Obviously, if there wasn't like an actual waterfall there, that's... Yeah.
It has to, though.
It has to,
I know
yeah.
you say it can't, but I mean, it has to.
Picture this. There has to be one gigantic, non-stopping waterfall. If you can imagine that in your head, I just thought of that. That's actually not a bad one. A never-ending waterfall. That's their model.
I think I might have to get a soundboard clip. The one that says, if water forms a plane, then there can be no globe.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of those short little logic statements given to us by I Can Science That. It's not often you get people brave enough to make logical statements like that, but he did. All we need to find out now is if water, particularly the water level, if that does indeed form a plane of reference. Because if it does, then by I Can Science That logical statement, there can be no globe. Does anyone know of any tests like that? I mean, I know dictionaries say that, yeah, water levels do form a horizontal plane of reference, but apparently that's not good enough. There needs to be some sort of a test or something. I think you'll find it does, Bev. Anyone honest would. So yeah, globe, DOA. Genesis says, if you imagine the Earth to be spherical and gravity is always against the center, is that a mathematical term or scientific?
That's their belief.
What?
That's their belief.
Gravity is always against the center. Against?
We were talking about it before when we said down. What direction is down? Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't that towards the center, not against? May just be like he's maybe different linguist, but against seems the opposite of towards for me.
Yeah.
By the way, if you are in the center of imaginary ball, if you are in the center of this gravity, So gravity is around you because mass is around you. So you are attracting in this mass is attracting you in every direction. So that would be this example, what Genesis is talking about, I think. It is possible on their model only in the center of the mass.
Well, you see,
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that, can you? Because
Well,
there is mass, isn't there? So you can't get rid of gravity without getting rid of mass.
Yes, of course.
You can't go to the center of the mass to say that there is no mass, therefore there is no gravity, therefore you will float. That.
And yet, that's what they say.
Yeah. Hey, far be it from me. Well, we know that science is modern science is riddled with contradictions that you just have to accept. I don't really. I can't place contradictions within scientific method. I'm just old school like that, I guess. But I can understand how modern science would need to. And I can understand how modern mathematics would have to work with modern science in order to have the modern sciences things. If you say that modern science is just something that has to happen, then modern maths has to support it. Has to. So like something that you'll find within modern sciences, the term "it has to."
But on their model, if you are in, let's say, you have this radius of their ball, it means if you are in the middle of this radius, inside of Earth, imaginary, then you are in the center of gravity because you have mass above you and mass below you. And if you have equal mass below you and equal mass above you, then you are it equalized. So the center of gravity would be not in the geometrical center of the Earth, because part of Earth would pull you upward, let's say, and part of Earth would pull you inward. So that would be the center. It means it would be a circle or a little sphere inside of the sphere. Because if mass attracts mass, you cannot have a center of gravity in the center of the ball. You cannot get rid of mass. So it is impossible. If they say that the center of gravity is in the center of the mass, it's not true in their model, this Newtonian model of gravity, let's say. There is nothing to explain. This is your claim, Genesis. This is not my claim. I am just reducting into absurd what you are saying about center of gravity. Because in your model, center of gravity is center of the ball. And it cannot happen.
Yeah, it's because they don't have the people with the rhetoric. So the best rhetoric they can find is people explaining a reductio ad absurdum, to which they imagine is well-spoken modern science.
Yeah, you go down, you keep going down, and then down becomes up.
Like Paper said, he was explaining a reductio ad absurdum, and Genesis said that was good.
Well done.
He explained it very well. Yeah.
Yeah. So their model is reduction into absurd. Okay.
Well, that's a given. Yeah.
Yeah, he has been drinking, but I mean, Genesis is usually like that, and that's well said, Genesis. I mean, we've been talking about developing proofs of the globe through Reductio ad absurdum. It seems like they would be accepted modern day. I mean, why not? I mean, it is logic, and it is a proof, indirect proof, right? But it's not a direct proof. But I mean, if you're never going to find a direct proof, you may as well go with the indirect proof of the globe, right?
Yes, so reduction into absurd is disproving, in fact, because you are disproving claim by showing absurdity, and it means that the opposite is true. So not gravity or not globe in that regard. So if I have proven that this gravity model is absurdal, it means that it cannot be real. So it is disproved.
Oh, here we go. Look, he's done it here. If you see the Earth as small masses in the middle, all these masses forces take out each other. If you add all of these forces up, it will add to zero. Alas, no force and floating.
Exactly what I was talking about.
Up there, Paper, with his he doesn't word it quite the same as what you did, but I mean, seems to be going similar on the same sort of, right, adding up all of the numbers to get zero, adding up a load of zeros to get zero.
No, he is not correct, because mass attracts mass. So if you are not in the geometrical center of the globe, but in the center or in the middle of the radius, let's say, so you have mass above you, whatever this above is, outward, and you have mass below you. So you are in the middle of the radius. So you have, and of course, gravity has direction, has vector. So you have two vectors there. One pulling you outside because there is a mass above you, and another vector pulling you down. So you are pulling, you are being pulled in two directions. So, and this point is not in the center of the mass. So Genesis is not right, because he's forgetting about mass, that this claim is about mass. Mass is attracting mass. Whatever it is, this mass, it has direction, this gravity. So you have both the directions. So, for example, if we have in their model this sun, and the sun has greater gravity than Earth, it means that you have always two vectors toward the Earth and toward the sun in opposite direction. And they say, of course, because we are on the Earth, we are closer, so the Earth's gravity is greater than the Sun's gravity because the Sun is very distant. But still, we have two vectors. But if you are inside of Earth, you have always two vectors, outside and inside. So there is no defense to their claim that it is the center of the mass. It cannot be. If you are already inside of this mass, this Earth, just not true.
Well, I keep thinking Blue Marble said, you know, in the equals sort of thing, that gravity just equals vertical. So if
Yes,
gravity just equals vertical, then what's Genesis talking about?
I don't know. He's talking about his model.
When
for me,
the point where vertical changes direction, the up and down, he's talking about that point being what? I don't know.
Maybe he thinks
there being no vertical at the point of where vertical changes the up and down.
Yes, I understand that, but this is not the center of the mass. In that case, geometrically, it's not.
Well, I thought you couldn't have gravity without the uneven mass, right? You require an uneven mass within the new science in order for you to have gravity.
I was just gonna say, you guys are talking this old gravity. You realize that, right? This old, outdated one.
I'm just talking vertical. That's the new one, isn't it? Blue Marble said that.
Oh, that's Blue Marble gravity. Yeah. Well,
Genesis is talking about Newtonian gravity, I think.
yeah, the old school one. Yeah. Where you been, Genesis? I mean, surely you must have heard, right?
But still, for me, gravity is weight, and if you have plumb bob, this plumb bob has density greater, obviously, than the air, so it is direct. It has vector down. But if you replace that with helium balloon, it would be opposite direction, up, in straight line. So yes, vertical, up and down, and you can even achieve this up and down using something that is that has greater density than air, as normal plumb bob is, or you can use inconveniently helium balloon, and it would go up. Of course.
When does it start going down, the helium balloon?
It depends only on density. So if this balloon would go up and the air is thinner up there, I don't know where correctly, but they say that the air is thinner and thinner as you go up. So it will stop where this air would be the same density as helium.
No, but I'm saying they have their two directions, right? Down. If you start going down on their mythical, wherever they think they are, then that becomes up, right? Eventually, we've been through that.
Yes, of course. So,
but there's no backwards here. So they're up. Does their up ever become down?
In their model, it has to be, but this is not the center of the mass. The problem is that it would be.
No, we're talking different things now. Yeah.
So inside of Earth, let's say, that would be not the center of the mass.
First of all, let's clear one thing up. This Newtonian gravity doesn't exist. It's gone. Bye-bye. Now they're talking about a whole new different thing, right? Everybody knows it. Let's say it. It's the fabric of space-time. Now they've combined the concept of time with space, and they made a fabric. And now the mass bends that fabric. Surely you know that, Genesis, right? So there goes your idea out the window.
Yeah, this pseudo-Riemannian space-time, yes. This is invention of this mathematician, of course, Riemann.
Yeah, sheer nonsense. Absolute made up fantasy. Yeah, nonsense.
See, I mean, isn't this again like Genesis has taken this now? Is this a shape argument, or is this changed now to a, you know, another one of prove my fantasies? I can't prove my fantasy, so you try and disprove my fantasy. Just a different one.
No, this is where the excuses come in. You don't understand. Can you do the math? You know, have you ever done the field equations? Have you ever reduced?
What? It's for another fantasy, isn't it? It's like it's not the same fantasy. It's just another one. I mean, they could keep doing this forever. I have a fantasy. You have to disprove it.
Yep.
Okay. I have answer for Genesis. He's asking if you can show that mass does not attract mass. Okay, if you are able to give me Nobel Prize, then give me it fast. Because if you have balloon, but not filled with helium, just without anything, lying on the ground, you can say that this balloon has a mass and is attracting by Earth and is lying on Earth. And when you fill it with helium, this balloon, it has more mass, yes, but it is not, and it is not attracted by mass because it is going up. So please resolve this conundrum, Genesis, if you can, or give a Nobel Prize to me in cash, maybe, preferably.
He's been sent out from BME. Where's that? Genesis. Wow. He's been sent here from some sort of a governing body, BME. So I guess he can't say that he, you know, he's come here because of his own volition, right? He's actually been sent here.
I gotta take off, guys. Okay. Later.
Catch you later. I was just looking through some other arguments. You can't keep attacking them like that, gods. Please mention the dogmatic globe. Because there are people that live on a globe, right? But they just comport reality with it. And what Genesis is talking about is some dogmatic globe that's been set up years ago that they have no proof for. They know they have no proof for. So to go easy on them.
And Genesis is saying that he missed this helium balloon. Okay, I'm not sure. Helium balloon has mass without helium, and is lying on the ground, and in your model Genesis, it is attracted by Earth, and suddenly when you fill it with helium, then this balloon gets more mass, and surprisingly, it is not going down. It should be attracted by Earth even more, but it is not. It is going up. So I proved you that mass does not attract mass. And this kind of proof is called from stronger argument. This is called a fortiori in Latin. I proved you from stronger argument that mass does not attract mass. Thank you very much.
I don't know what arguments are, though. It's a tricky one.
Yes. Yes.
Even Akumu says that the reason he's here is for proof of otherwise. Yet Akumu doesn't know what proof is. Or he admits that he has no proof. He's looking for proof to the contrary of him having no proof, I think. Brilliant. So Akumu now says there is proof.
Not evidence, proof. Okay. We
Seems
are waiting.
Confused, Akumu. Okay, brilliant. Where's the proof? Give us the mathematical proof, or at least the argument, and we'll work the geometric stuff out. What is the proof, Akumu? Give us the simplest proof, mathematical, that you have.
Or just logical, because all mathematical proofs are logical.
Yeah, but he doesn't understand that. So if we say mathematics, because he's admitted that mathematics has proof. So what's the mathematical proof, Akumu? It will get tricky at this point, isn't it? Always. This is where we come across a stumbling block. First off, you have to make an argument, Akumu, right? You make the argument, and then we will give you the proof that it's either right or wrong, right? We can help you out with the proof. I won't give you the proof, but I'll give you the logic behind it, okay? Attempt that then, please. Give us the argument that we can build off mathematically, because it's logic, right?
So he has proof about Earth.
Yep. He can't give us the proof, but he can give us the logic behind it.
But proof is logic itself. So,
and he has had everybody else admit that there is no proof. So, I mean, he's sort of out on his own here at the minute.
No, it is not about what we can see. No.
No, he was going to give us the logic. Surely that can't be the logic. You can't say it's what you see, the logic, without stating the logic that we can see, because I can't see any logic there, Akumu.
Yes, for example, the best example is with rotating stars. Some people say that stars are rotating, and other people say that Earth is rotating. So this statement that I can see stars rotating is not proof. For Globers, it rather is disproof, because they say that the Earth is rotating. But this is just only observation, so you cannot make any proof from that. And by the way, of course, if we can see that stars are rotating, it is more likely that stars are rotating and not Earth. But still, it is not a proof anyway.
Yeah, this bit here. I'll get it for you in case you forgot what you've just wrote, Kumu. I'll put it in the chat, right? Here's what you said. You said, I won't give you the proof, but I'll give you the logic behind it. And then you said, I'm not going to get you the clip for this because people can see that, surely. You said, what you mean, what you see logic? I'm talking about field of view. Well, you said you give us the logic behind it. Like, where's the logic? Well, he's getting all confused.
And Genesis is confused. Well, I was talking about mass. So mass, if it is attracting mass, then helium balloon without helium inside is going down, but with helium having greater mass than before is going up. So it disproves claim that mass attracts mass. That was my point, and that was your Genesis point. And
Yeah,
now you are talking about density.
He's talking about relative density, isn't he? That's some sort of a flat Earth thing that I've heard. Relative density.
It's not flat Earth. It's just a normal thing in reality. So I don't know why it is related to flat Earth, because about relative density or relation between densities, rather, people knew since Archimedes, his experiment with crowns. You remember that? Which is golden and which is silver. This king didn't know that and asked Archimedes to check without destroying crowns. So, or a crown. So, if the crown is silver and only outside of that it is covered by thin layer of gold, it would have different density. So the experiment was that Archimedes put the weight on the other side, on the balance, the weight of this crown, and this weight was golden. And if they would be equal, balanced or horizontal, in horizontal position, it means that they have equal density. But they didn't have equal density, and this golden weight was going down and crown was going up. So then he resolved the problem.
Yeah,
He showed that
we're not going into relative density. Like I say, that I've been told is flat Earth stuff. And Genesis, we're not bringing that into it. We're talking about up and down on a vertical, not talking about relative density. That's swapping the subject.
Yes, he is, of course. But
So-
still, I disproved his claim about mass attracting mass.
They don't know what proof is. Whenever you say you disproved it, they hear nothing. They don't even hear that. It doesn't.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Mike Jones sends a super chat in, and this is relevant to the up and down thing, because Mike Jones says, shout out to Betty, who will be trying to prove that two people can both be simultaneously below each other. In our debate, his words, that's what Betty's calling it, a debate. Betty's called it a debate, which will be taking place a week after his Ponzi hairdresser coronation watch party. Apparently, yes. So Mike said, Betty didn't want to do the debate because the coronation was on, and it upset his obviously his watch party with his friends, hairdresser friends. I don't know whether they're all hairdressers. But yeah, that's the big down debate. But I think that's more of like a rumpus pole down, right? A zero elevation change down, rather than this like a direct down. That's more of an indirect down. That makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, I like that. Mike Jones and Betty, the so-called Ponzi hairdresser, are debating an indirect down where two people can simultaneously be below each other, whereas Genesis, I do believe, is trying to obfuscate the vertical down by trying to obfuscate by using relative density of a balloon that would be going in the upwards vertical, as paper says, by the addition of the mass of helium.
Yes, so that's the contradiction. And proof a fortiori, it means that I used stronger argument to disprove his claim.
But you didn't give the proof. Where's the logic? Can anybody remember seeing Akumu post any logic in the chat, or was he just mentioning field of view? Because that's not logic, Akumu, right? You can't be that devoid of understanding of logic to think that saying some words about field of view is logic. I mean, can you call what is the minimal amount of stuff that you could call logic for somebody to post in a YouTube comment section? Anyone? Anyone want to hazard a guess? What's the minimal amount of words that you could post that would constitute as logic?
Sentence, subject and object
A
in the
statement
sentence.
sort of thing.
Yes, statement. Yes. So subject and object, and subject.
Maybe a definition, right? Because that's a sort of naming the identity of something.
Maybe yes, or stating some fact that I don't know that cat is black. So this is statement.
Yeah.
So
What did Akumu virus state? Put it again, Akumu. Just give us the logic that you think backs your statement. I know you said you couldn't give us the proof, but you would give us the logic behind the proof. I can't remember seeing anything. I must have missed it. if anybody else is out there, you want to look through the chat to see if they can. I can't honestly, I can't see it. Has anybody deleted Akumu Virus's logic that he posted in the chat? Have any of you mods been deleting?
No, he's just was talking about this field of view or whatever. That's all. I am reading his
That's
post,
all I
so.
saw as well. Yeah. Sorry, Kumu, you might have posted it in a different chat somewhere.
Yes, let's post it here.
Yeah, in this chat or in the Discord, one or the other. What's this? Betty? Oh, somebody's talking to Betty. How can you think through each step of an argument if you are not clear on what the argument is? Answer. As I would in a game of chess. If Mike moves this piece, then I move that piece, and so on. Would the game of chess be equivalent to the argument?
No.
Well, where would the argument be placed within the game of chess? Equivalent. How can you think through each step of the argument if you are not clear on what the argument is? Would you have to equate the argument to the game of chess? That's what Betty seems to be doing. But to me, I could only equate the argument to the game of chess, and Betty saying that even if he doesn't know how to play chess, he'd just wait until Mike makes a move and then just move a piece. Right, and that would be classed as him playing a game of chess. Right, without knowing how to play chess.
Yes, that would be strange.
Similar sort of, right? An analogy, is it? The game of chess to the argument?
Yes, but still.
Doesn't make any sense, yeah. Nobody said it had to make any sense. It's just trying our best. Mike Jones asking, does Betty have an ELO rating? Can anyone remember that?
What is this ELO rating? I don't know that.
I think it's from a Discord server that we went to that was doing debates. I think they banned me. But yeah, they had a rating system whenever you went there and debated. And it was a scoring point system. It was a very strange place. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that is. I doubt it. I don't think any of these people are actually experienced within debate. I don't think they're actually experienced within communication, within even a dialectic. It's more like a dictatorship dialectic that I think we're used to within the conversation. Is that a Kumu virus with a... Is that logic?
Speed of the sun and length of the day. So what? How it is related to the shape?
I think he's forgotten about us. I don't think Akuma virus is actually going to give us any logic to do with
how movement of the sun can prove or disprove any shape of the Earth. So non sequitur for me.
Yeah. Yeah, we might have to go back to that debate thing if it's kicking off. If there's a few people still debating. No, can we have the logic, Akumu, and then we'll work on that. It says if there's no math, I can't help. Well, I would say that mathematics is logical, and I wouldn't say that non-Euclidean geometry is logical or mathematical myself. I can't see how you could go into an area that's not logical and call it mathematical. That's a contradiction in my understanding.
Yeah, because logic is outside of mathematics also. So it is everywhere. So it is also in mathematics, but you cannot say that it is only in mathematics. So you have proofs only in mathematics. Absolutely not. So it is everywhere because this is the way how we understand everything using logic. So we use logic everywhere, not only in mathematics or geometry.
Well, I would say using logic is a mathematical thing, right? Rather than separating mathematics from logic, I would say it's a mathematical operation whenever you perform logic. It's not arithmetical. It's like there's no numbers involved in it, but that doesn't stop it from being mathematical.
I would say that not only in mathematics, it is not because, you know, if we are talking about geometry, of course, we have proofs for geometry. But for example, if we have this syllogism that all men are mortal and Socrates is a man and therefore Socrates is mortal, it has nothing to do with geometry. But still, it is syllogism and it is logical. So in that regard, I say that it is also outside of geometry, let's say, because it is everywhere. So you can produce syllogism about people, about nature, physical objects, etc., and phenomena, because it is not restricted only into mathematical area, let's say abstract mathematical area. You can use logic in real life with the real objects also.
— 180 divided by pi? Where did you get 180 from? Kumu Virus said, I basically just said it's about the field of view of what's seen around the Earth. Someone with curve have a certain amount. No curve a certain amount.
I don't understand what he wrote. Sorry.
With curve will have a certain amount. No curve, a certain amount. And sorry about that, Akuma. I can't
I
even
cannot
understand what
process
that
that.
means. I don't even, can't even comprehend what's going on there. Are you all right, Akumu? Don't want to be. Gods, lay off him for a bit. Sounds. You just said it, Genesis. Like you wrote it there. We've got Genesis typing stuff in the chat saying that other people said it. No, I'm saying Genesis, I'm saying you just typed it. You can't just type something in the chat and then when somebody questions you on it, you say, I didn't say that. You did. You were the ones that typed it. I've seen that done like a fair few times in different Discord servers, and it's not going to work here, Genesis.
Akumu, yes, or Genesis?
No, Genesis is typing some stuff and then saying,
okay,
I didn't say that. But I wouldn't have commented on it if he hadn't have typed it, so it's not much cop saying somebody else typed it. Oh, Kumu, slow down with your typing. Kumu says, what math did you use? Do I can use it too? Can I use it? Do I can use it? What math did you use? Do I can use it?
I think that he's asking about math. So math is 1, I think. Oh, that would be the same math. Or he is talking about not that math, like not that geometry. So I don't know.
Yeah, God's like, he's under pressure. You don't want to be. They have a hard enough job as it is, dealing with the contradictions of the model and not understanding logic. Yeah, I would. Fat fingers. I still don't know what the logic is behind your proof, Kumu. I was hoping we were going to see a little bit of an attempt at some logic at least, but I don't know. Fizzled away.
We have to wait.
Yeah.
This is not today.
Seems like Gords has put himself into a thing where Akumu virus has an ability to be able to ignore the other things and then focus on something that he's probably misunderstood about Gords.
Yes, but why to use math to see something? Because uh, what we are supposed to see according to the globe, what math did you use? We are not using math to see things in reality. So I really don't understand this question. We use eyes, not math.
Eddie's got an argument. He's already downloaded the argument onto his own site. His own server. Betty's got his own server.
You mean the Discord server?
Yeah, it must be. Yeah. Betty's up. I uploaded it. Here we go. I uploaded it successfully to my own server. I've now asked Blue if he is able to download it. Next step is to think through each step of the argument with Mike. What's the argument? Well, that is the question. Yeah, it is. I think it's the down one. I think Mike's been talking about down. Two people can simultaneously see or have the other one below them.
B. Just B. B below.
Yeah, but be below, right? Yeah.
Two people both just being below each other.
Yeah, not
I'm
sighted
below you.
or like just
No,
they
just
are
being.
below. Yeah.
I'm below you and you're below me.
Yeah.
At exactly the same time.
Yep. That argument. Nice. So please
I'm
don't,
taking
Blue,
not. I'm going to take not that.
Well, you reckon that he's going to be arguing for that? Because that's the position, right? If you're having a debate, obviously, I can't see you going for supporting that case.
No.
So you're of the opinion that that's a little bit ridiculous.
Yes.
Yes. And it was Wally and whatever that stroke up like I think if I'm right, there's a thread on one of my videos where there is over 400 comments. And this came from that thread, right?
It did.
Right. And
it reached the maximum. The maximum.
Initially, it was Wally and whatever for probably around 400 comments. And then Betty comes in. And
yeah, Betty came in at the 11th hour and said, I will debate this.
Okay. And so Betty's
okay.
taking up the cause of over 400 comments backwards and forwards with Mike here and where's Wally and whatever. Now, Betty, the proofless logician, wants to formulate an argument, and he has formulated an argument, apparently.
Yeah.
To debate. I like it. He's made an argument for you.
I'm actually really proud of him. I mean, whatever and Wally weren't capable of doing that and were, very reticent. But Betty has stepped up. I mean, not during the coronation, obviously, but after the coronation, Betty is willing to step up.
Gives him a little bit of extra time, right? An extra week in practicing your argument within the.
I was more than happy to give him that time.
Yeah. Well, it'll be worth it. And like Azakumu virus has just shown us tonight that he can't state a logical statement even. And here's Betty formulating an argument for I don't know. I have to call it a reductio ad absurdum, right?
Yes, but still.
The simultaneous dual below.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a
but
Rompus poll.
Yes, but this is the claim. Don't confuse claim with argument. Claim is not argument. This is statement. So if he's saying that we can have two men in relation to each other being below at the same time, so this is claim. This is statement. This is not argument.
No. I believe Mike has stated that sounds ridiculous, and that's what the conversation backwards and forwards with Wally and whatever has been. That Wally and whatever have been attempting to formulate an argument to support the case of two people being simultaneously below each other. And Beddy has come in, and as stated there in this thing showing on screen, he has stated he has formulated an argument that he wants to. The next step is to think through each step of the argument with Mike here. So that's what Beddy has to do. He has to take Mike in a thought process through each step of the argument that Beddy has formulated. Now, obviously, Beddy's going to keep this argument under wraps.
That's what he should show this beforehand. I think. But because if he's presenting argument,
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with him surprising.
Surprise
Okay,
Mike.
okay.
Yeah, it's one of the best. It's one of the best presents you could get after the coronation, right? After watching the crown, the crowning of the king is to be surprised by an argument from a proofless logician. Genesis says in the chat that Beddy is doing a good job trying to educate me. Me?
Educate on what?
I haven't got a clue. I don't know what he's been telling everybody over there, Genesis, but Beddy doesn't even come over here and talk. He's like he's scared or something. I don't know and say scared. I think he's just sort of, let's say, intimidated. Or he may just have a lot of work on. Might have a few hair cuts to do. Who knows? But yeah, Beddy doesn't want to come round here and educate me on anything. I don't think he could. How could he attempt to educate me? He's not here. I wouldn't say that Beddy's a sophist. He has to come up with an argument first.
Even sophists, when they are bringing their argument, which can be not real argument, but it still has to be similar to argument. It should look like argument, at least. So
I hope I can chat GPT that doesn't get punished by the Blue Marble scientists for posting. I think that's where they've come from. Or are they private messages? Got whatever in there as well. Must be blue. Must be blue ops. I've got
Actually, you're right. Two lines cannot enclose a space.
There he is, Betty. What's the other one? We've got another one, haven't we? Oh, there we go. This is Betty's best one.
That doesn't follow logically, but that's something we can agree.
That doesn't follow logically, but that's something that we can agree. It's a bad recording.
Yeah, that's
it should have been better.
very convincing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably one of Betty's best arguments, that. It doesn't follow logically, but that's something that we can agree. I think that's when he was talking about the horizontals being parallel. I might be wrong. If you do want to come over, Akumu, and have a chat about any of this mathematics and geometry that you're talking about with gods, I'd be welcome to the chat. Whose position, Genesis? Who are you talking about?
No,
problem,
we are
isn't
not.
it?
We are not classing everything what is against our claim, let's say, as a sophistry. No. Generally, we are just pointing out fallacies in arguments or claims, and this is not sophistry.
What's this one here? Well, I don't think I can read that. They must be going mad. Like, why? Betty can come over at any time as well if he wants to explain that. I mean, I know it would probably end up getting into what he would class as a debate, but it's not. It's just a discussion. Probably gonna have to open it up in the browser to read it. So Betty's never gonna come over here. That's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, pity.
It's calling us scummy.
Sad story.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's a shame. It's a shame they think like that, but hey, that's one of the best ways of not having a discussion, isn't it? If you never enter into the discussion, then you don't ever have to have the discussion. Very globe of them. Very globe. Gods is asking Virus for proving the globe. There is no proof. Gods. They know there is no proof. When they ask you for proof, they know themselves they have no proof. So you should know that were you to ever give them anything, they will always be able to deny it because they do not have any proof. They have no concept of proof. They don't know what proof is. And therefore, this backwards and forwards of asking people for proof, it's got to stop until somebody actually knows what proof is, how you can actually present a proof. Because I don't think it's fair for anybody to ask for a proof if you don't know what a proof is in order for you to be able to accept the proof that gets given.
Okay, I am off to bed.
Okey-dokey.
Good night. Thank you very much.
Later paper. Yeah. It's been a simple thing. We've been saying it for quite a while. They have no argument. Oh, we work backwards. They already know they have no proof. And if they have no proof, means that they cannot present an argument that the outcome is proof. So no proof means no argument. And that's pretty obvious that they have no argument because they can't state an argument. They can't state a logical statement that supports their model, the dogmatic globe, in any way whatsoever. This is the death of the dogmatic globe. It's gone. And if you ask people to support reality now with any proof-based means, what have we got? Who's got anything to start off with? Yeah, Kumu virus, yes. What have you got for proof then? And then go, like, you've got contradicting each other. Akumu and Genesis are in the chat contradicting each other. Akumu virus says there is proof, and Genesis says there is no proofs in reality. Is the contradiction a proof of the globe? Because you can't have a globe without any contradictions, and the fact that both the Kumu virus and Genesis are contradicting each other must be proof of the globe. Can't have a globe without contradictions, and if they're contradicting each other, then that must be proof. Mathematics is proof is. I'd say that ask Genesis whether mathematics exists in reality, because he said there is no proofs in reality. You seem to be contradicting each other, you two guys. There either is proof or there is not proof. The two guys that know that they contradict each other know that that very contradiction is the best proof they have for the globe. Contradictory proof of the globe. Sort of ended already, hasn't it? The fact that they've got nothing. Smiley face. Emoji. Well, there you go. Genesis has come to contradict a Kumu virus to help them prove the globe. Akumu virus, if you're with your friends, don't be chatting in the YouTube. That's not fair to your friends. Wow, this is very strange. It is Free for All Friday. Does anybody else want to pop in? Entertaining people who are contradicting themselves is not the best. But we do have a debate to look forward to. The down. Two people simultaneously being under, below each other. Genesis says, when Bev releases his measurements from the excursion last, we will have no regrets anymore. I don't know, that must be some language barrier thing. That doesn't mean anything. Genesis. You mean the measurements of the sluice gates? Contradictions upon contradictions. Proof by contradiction. It's nearly as good as proof by Reductio. Ad homes. Elementary, my dear Genesis. Right, I think we're probably done. It is the weekend. Now, I've still got the philosophy things. I think I've got 3 or 4 of them left. Need to go out. So I might put those out at the weekend. It depends. Might go live at the weekend. It depends. See what we're doing. Might be a busy weekend. But join us again on Monday. We will be doing Model Affliction Monday, as always. But the model now is, there's different types of models, obviously. I know what sort of model Akumu's working on, and Genesis. I know a certain set of models that people have been built on. Argumentative models been taught through Discord channels. There's all sorts of different models. Genesis thinks he's good at math, but he can't explain a Rompus poll. I will. I'll do a video soon about the Rompus poll, just to let you all know. Okay. Requests for Buster. Let me have a look. Triangle. 5-sided square. Looking into a video about if math is invented or discovered. It's already been done, Kumu. You should be able to come in for a conversation. If you could, then you'd be able to have these discussions with us. We've already been over this sort of stuff. That's the sort of stuff that we deal with all the time. So if you want that sort of a discussion, come into the Discord. Genesis deferring to Rompus. Nice. Elevations. Just for you people. You don't understand. Okay, see you Monday. As you know, surveying, especially elevation checks and all of that, is based solely on horizontals being parallel.
There we go.
Right? Well, that isn't a curve. Right? That isn't what they do. They measure a drop in the vertical, don't they? When you're doing surveying on your measuring rods.
Hang on here. Let me think about this.
Yeah, you do.
If it's a change in the vertical, then what do you call that when you're measuring, when you're doing your surveying?
Hang on here. Let me think about this a minute.
Change in elevation.
Right, okay.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Hang on here. Let me think about this a minute.
Oh, yeah. So drop any, would be a drop any direction you go. Earth is always dropping away from you.
So the water, you think the water level drops away from you?
There we go. Yeah, I know it. I've not seen a drawing from LIGO.
The nutsack thing is related to
your arm, an X or a Y.
Let's say 400 meters. How accurate could you be at setting a horizontal?
It is designed to be 33.1 arc seconds from top to bottom at that distance.
Wait a minute. The elevation from the water level is always going to be the same.
They'll all intersect. Those three lines will intersect in the middle.
There we go.
Oh shit, Rompus went to bed a long time ago.
A nutsack drop is a pretty good demonstration of the globe.
There we go.
Just hang on here, let me think about this.
Go on.
Water level.
Oh, yeah. The water level is the most level.
The water level will show you level. You'll take your auto level then to the center of this array of of level points that you've established. Set it at the center and then shoot both ends. You'll find out that they're dropping.
What, both ends of the water level lower?
There we go. Yeah.
In the middle.
We got a home.
You've got a home.
Absolutely.
It's a home.
Hang on here, let me think about this.
You got a home basement.
Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. God, I'm getting tired, Bev. Back up. That was wrong. That was something else I was thinking about.
33.1 arc seconds.
1 arc second, which at 400 meters would be in a vertical height of 12.6 millimeters. Buster.
It's not my problem if you don't want to.
Hang on here, let me think about this.
You just on your own.
What do you call a change in vertical in surveying?
Hang on here, let me think about this.
Like if there's a vertical distance change, what's that called?
Hang on here, let me think about this.
It's elevation, and it's measured
so
from
you've
sea
just
level.
said.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you've just said that the
And all
water
of them?
level changes in elevation
There we go.
from the point you're
the water
at.
level does. Yes, the water level will. Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
So it's
wait,
not
wait.
establishing a level.
Wait a
Wait a
Hold
minute.
on
I think you might have got. Whoa. Yeah.
Hold on.
Go on.
There we go. Hold on.
Take a mulligan on that one. Let's try again.
Don't overtalk.
Hang on here,
Don't
let me think
overtalk.
about
Don't
this.
panic.
Yeah, at 400 meters, the Earth curve is about 12.6 millimeters, so you're going to have to add that in.
Oh, yeah.
Add it into a horizontal. Where do you add it in?
Yeah, that's what I feel like a lot of times, Buster.
There we go. Oh, yeah.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn.
Yeah, you've just said that the
And all
water
of them?
level changes in
Hang on, let me
elevation
think about
from the point
The
you're
water
at.
level does. Yes, the water level will. Absolutely.
No reason, no logic, no wisdom, no worries.
Yes, the water level will. Absolutely.
You're just on your own.
There we go. Oh,
No
yeah.
reason, no logic, no answers to question.
Hang on here, let me think about this.
You're just on your own.
Just so that, you don't lose me here. Let's say we have A, NA, and NP on your water level. Where are you going to put your auto level?
Oh, yeah.
What? I'm not putting the auto level anywhere. Now those
From what?
horizontals.
Okay, wait, back up. Back up. Back up. No, wait, back up. Back up. No, wait, please. But on the curved Earth, what you just described is what we would see. We would have 3 different horizontals intersecting in the middle.
Oh, yeah.